What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Come on in, drop that CD and state, and let's get into it. Listen, you see it. The title said the kids are mad because you lied. 120K is the new middle class. Listen, you guys already have probably seen the kerfuffle, and I like using the news and economic tie-ins. Ti is going back and forth with his son, and now if you've ever studied some of the wealthier people, a lot of times while they were younger, they were grinding, trying so hard to get their business and their money up, that the kids sometimes get a little bit left behind. And honestly, I'm seeing a lot of first generation African Americans who are getting money, and usually, unfortunately, they don't know, hey, you're supposed to start sending these kids to boarding school. Like, I know people get mad at me when I put it in the comments, like, Ti should have sent his son to boarding school when he was around ninth grade age, so that he had more some structure, some discipline, some kind of idea on how things are supposed to run, some purpose. Because every time I hear the kid, in my opinion, he's just suffering from lack of purpose, lack of mission. And as a young person, he's frustrated and he's angry. Okay. And so he's trying so hard to act like he's from the trenches, he's from the hood. And this is the same thing you see with people like Lil Wayne. 50 Cent said, we watched Lil Wayne grow up from 13 years old rapping in front of us on camera. He wasn't in the streets. He wasn't in New Orleans. He wasn't thugging, because we saw him all the time. He was surrounded by security. He was surrounded by this particular lifestyle. And so I have this thing where I was comparing this woman who, her kids are all in Raleigh. Now, a lot of times you'll see these people, they'll move in from they'll move in from Chicago, or they'll move in from certain areas, and they'll go, I came down here for a better way of life, to upgrade my life, to get it better so that I could improve it for my kids. And this is a lot of people tell their kids, right? And so this woman I know, she came down here many moons ago, and the setup was their father died, they had some money, but the mom already knew, we can't make it stretch if we up north, so let's take it down south. We used to live down here in Fayetteville, Fort Bragg area. We can come back here again. They ended up getting a little 50K house, got there. And the line you tell your kids, we're here for a better life. Well, now these kids done went all the way to college. They're all in Raleigh. It's a 45-minute drive from where we are. And I remember the mom saying, oh, they could at least come back and visit. The first thing out my head was, why? You're not doing anything. You're not even working. You came down here for cheap rent. You came down here to smoke weed and kiki and laugh it up. And so your kids have now watched you tell them this lie, that we came down here for a better life, to improve ourselves, to have a better situation. But yet they can see that you're not improving. Right? That you have a whole generation of people on internet right now. They mad about something every day. What are they mad about? Right? We got the mixed kids mad at their black daddy, white mama situation. She didn't know how to do my hair, yada yada yada. I mean, they mad, right? You got kids out here who moved from Chicago, moved from New York. They're in North Carolina since they've been 5 years old, acting like they from New York, acting tough, acting big and bad. And why? Because they realize they're I'm not gonna say stuck. I hate the word stuck, but they're stuck in some of these military towns. They're stuck in some of these small places because their parents just wanted cheap rent. Not that mama came down here and went to community college and became a nurse and got on it and start taking care of y'all and start making good money. She just wants some cheap rent so she can sit down and smoke weed on the weekends. Well, Erica, you don't know how stressful it is to have these kids. I get it. I get it. I hear you. But if you look at the Ti Tiny situation, you can tell there was times where Ti just running the roads. They doing a whole TV show, the boy crying on camera, being all dramatic. The mom, the grandma, everybody's babying him. He's like, let him be a man. And people clapping their hands like, good, I'm glad Ti said that. Man, that was the most bare minimum conversation I've ever heard. Right? You have these adults who have not made any type of plans, provisions, or any kind of tracks laid out for these kids. And then be like, why these kids acting so stupid? You haven't prepared them for anything. You haven't laid anything out for them. You haven't even set the road up for them. That's why you notice, if you pay attention, I told you the other day, the woman who owns the research company in Dallas, right, which is a fancy term for when we get Ivy League money, we do a research company, okay? She sent her kids off to a private military school. Though the boys went to the military academy, the girls went to the girls' academy right beside it, in the same city, same town, in Indiana. And she's like, it gives them good Midwest values and patriotic views, and it's good for them, builds character. She knew what happens. I got money. I own a business. I'm doing well. You're out here from 16 to 18, spending way too many hours with a bunch of hoodlums, right? So they're gonna have more influence on you. Again, we always talk about Tim Jackson's boy charity he does, nonprofit. He's the women will he'll say, bring me your son, kids 8 or 9. Come on, bring him in, let me help him with you, let me help you. Then they call him back a couple years later when the kid's 12, 13, 14, 15, acting a fool. He said, I can't do nothing now. See, he's not gonna listen to me now. He's here to impress the other teenagers. He's done listening to you. I'm gonna have to catch him on the back end. And we all know people like this. Where the son or the brother or the cousin acting a fool, and then now you got to catch them when they 25, they 26, they 27. Life done kick them a little bit. They done got a felony, something done happened. So now they're willing to listen. And then the kids are mad. Oh, my mom never did this. My mom never did that. You know how many times I hear that on phone calls with y'all? Hear it on internet, hear it in videos. You got these grown men doing 8-hour hangouts because they're mad with their mom. They ain't found no new role models. They ain't found no mentors. They're mad with their mom. They're mad with their parents. I just saw a video went viral the other day. It's a young man. He's standing there. He's smiling. He looks nervous. The mom says, my child has had a father-sized hole in his heart for a while now. And he walks across the way, and there's a kind of a burlier, older man that looks just like him with cornrows. And they're hugging for a long time. So long that other people are looking around. It's clearly at the mall in a public location. And you read the caption. Someone in his family told me he died and created a fake obituary. I'm so glad my son went going to look up the information about him and found out he was alive. Immediately in my head, I'm mad, right? Because that makes no sense. Now, everybody's like, Erica, give him the benefit of the doubt, give him the benefit of the doubt. I said, you know what? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he didn't know the woman was pregnant and he went on with his life, right? He just disappeared on her, right? But I know for certain if she done called your family, she calling the house, she looking for you. Bye, boo. She calling around, she looking for you, and you got family members so down rascal scoundrel that they will say that you died and provide her a fake obituary. You had some part in that. Because by the time she got 5,000 comments under her post, she was like, yeah, y'all, I understand. There is some sketchy on both sides of this story. I already knew what's up. I already knew what was up. There's no way this man just disappeared off the internet, off Facebook. Again, first thing I told my significant other, I said, well, first thing first, why did she go file for Social Security? She got a baby by this man. She need to go file for Social Security because if this man died and she got proof he died, the Social Security office would have been like, here you go. Here you go. Here's some SSI money to this child becomes 18 because the father of this child has passed away. And my friend said, well, everybody don't know. Everybody don't know about that, Erica. Baby, everybody don't know. I said, no, if you now have a child whose father is now deceased, everybody, your mentality should be, okay, how do I get food stamps, assistance, money, care for this child that has a deceased father? That's why when y'all grow up and y'all tell the kids, I did the best I could, they know you lying. Just like the woman here in town who moved down here and she just smoked weed and goof off. She sometimes part work. She seasonally work as long as her family's known her. I saw her kids when they were in middle school and I seen them as adults. I know why they mad with her. We're working our ass off here in Raleigh, going to college full time, having to pay out of pocket because you didn't have no plans for us. Your only plan is to sit here and live with your mother, right? On a $50,000 house they bought to keep cheap rent. And what's your game plan? You just gonna wait for your mama to die now? You get that house? People ain't stupid. These kids see that. You're not willing to spend $20 in gas to go 45 minutes up the road to Raleigh, our capital. All your kids are in like a 5-mile radius of each other at 3 different colleges in a small radius. And you go visit them because they're working full-time jobs. So your kids need to stop everything they do and drive an hour down individually. Come see you when you sitting around doing nothing. This is why you have all this internet anger with these kids. This is why you have these podcast bros so angry. They know you're lying. You're not doing your best. When you see these men say, well, I figured when he get 18, he can just find me. No, bro, that's not how this worked. Now you got an 18-year-old man who's like, where were you? What were you doing? Just living life, not worried about me, huh? Like, this is the reality we're facing. So T.I. can tell us all that. I was there. I helped with this kid. I don't know why he got millionaire parents. How invested were y'all? What was the plan for this little boy? If this little boy talking about he want to do music, why wasn't he in music lessons? Why can't he play multiple instruments? What was the game plan? Y'all didn't have one. That's why these kids are mad. They know you're lying. I keep meeting women, and we were in Atlanta last time we hang out with Andre and Dre and a bunch of other people. There was a woman there. She, in the daytime I saw her, she was buttoned up. I said, "Okay, sis, what's going on?" She left Chicago. She's like, "I got 4 kids, and I knew I had to save my son because Chicago will eat your children alive." I said, "Damn, that's terrible." So she's like, "I came down here. I don't even like Atlanta, but I came. I done work. My kids are doing sports. They doing football. My girl's doing basketball. Everybody's doing great. Got A's in school, right?" And so then I saw her later that night. She had the tank top on. She had tats, lots of tats, but she was working in a white collar job. And I said, those kids can never say, "Well, we left Chicago and we should have just stayed up there." Nah, they see your mom came down here, put in work, and works a white collar job in the daytime to make sure y'all good. It's these mamas that you see in these towns that move to these small nowhere towns. They're not doing anything. They're not going to community college. They're not improving themselves. They barely doing any work. And then they tell the kids, I work so hard. I work so hard. There's another kid that I was going to pull a video up, but I don't have it. Ice Cube's son that's 31 years old. He hanging out in a house full of influencers. Again, 31 years old. They just all hanging out, smoking and drinking. He cuts a girl's hair. And Ice Cube was like, "Hey, it's unfortunate what my son did. He shouldn't have cut that girl hair on live TV, against her will. That was wrong." He apologizes. Well, then they go, "Why is Ice Cube people even commenting on this? This is a 31-year-old man. At what point are these people grown?" I remember when y'all was talking about shame on Dr. Dre for not paying his daughter's way, and she's 38 with 4 kids. He was giving her $50,000+ a year to live, somewhere between $50,000 to $75,000 a year. It would just come. He never spoke to her. He just sent in, like a $5,000 to $6,000 check every month. So she was paying her rent, living well. When she decided to step out and get a little shine on the news, "Yeah, I ain't talked to him in years, and he a bad father." His people was like, "Okay, cut the check. She can go stand up on her own." She's like, "Yeah, my kids live with someone else and I'm door dashing out here and I'm homeless." Baby, you telling me this man been sending you $60,000 to $75,000 a year for over 10 years and you didn't own a house? You didn't own a piece of property? You didn't even own the vehicle? Come on. Come on now. It don't add up. And they're like, "Well, he's a billionaire." I don't matter. There's rules. You want the money, there's rules. T.I. son's 19 years old. When do we say, "Hey, that's enough"? I got nephews that are 17. I got nephews all the way close to the 30s. And there are people who are coming in like, "Man, your nephew that's 17 is so disciplined and so cool. I'm gonna give him this business. What do you think about that?" Coming to our family telling us, "I want to bless this kid with a business. And he can have these tools and these vehicles and these trucks." But you got these people who are superstar famous. They have nothing for their kids set up. Nothing. No structure, no discipline, no business, no nothing. T.I. out here building homes, quotation marks. He was doing that back in the day in parts of Atlanta. His son ain't seen him build homes. He ain't interested in real estate. He want to be a rapper. What he gonna rap about? He can't read sheet music. These are things that don't make sense. These are things that don't make sense. Right? So again, Diamond Dave just posted something that it just popped up on my feed. Many boys are missing out on a group task. Listen, I can't even read all that right now, but I'll read it later. But I want y'all to understand this. Okay? Money always comes with rules. Thank you. Listen. Come on, how you reading my mind? Money always comes with rules. Money always comes with rules. You earning a paycheck at the job, you following the rules. Right? I had my mom's friend called her and she said, they went on Thanksgiving vacation and their son and his wife, the kids acting crazy. They acting crazy. The daughter they have that has no kids was like, "Hey man, these kids need a little bit of discipline. You don't know, you don't got kids. Baby, it don't take somebody having kids to know when a set of kids need discipline." And so this is where this whole, well, if you're not exactly like me, you can't speak on it. Right? You even have Down syndrome parents, autistic parents. Well, if you don't have the autistic type of child I have, you can't speak on it. They're telling people who are teachers in the field for 30 years. They're telling healthcare providers who are healthcare providers for special needs children for 30 years that they can't tell them how to discipline or control their child. This is what people don't really want. Like this, when Tim tells these parents, "Hey, bring me your son when he's 8 to 12 so I can have some influence before he's 15, 16, 17 and I can't reach him. And now I got to catch him on the back end after life done hit him over the head a couple times." That ain't going to work. That's why the newest batch of these Instagram influencers you see are coming out of the military. These newest batch of young men that are having businesses and kicking butt and doing big things, white, black, Asian, whoever, they coming out of the military. There's a young man, I want to have him on the channel. He's out of North Capital. He came out of West Point. He goes work his first job. They're like, "We want to make you the manager." He's like, "Why? You the most disciplined person here." Oh my gosh, this is crazy. You're the youngest person, but you're the most disciplined person here. So these kids are hearing you tell them these sob stories of how you left New York, you left Chicago, you left the hood and moved them to the South, and they should be grateful. But the kid can look at your life and know you lying. You didn't come out here for us to have a better life. You came out here so you can have cheap rent and you can smoke weed. You came out here so you can chill. You came out here so you can get some of that hot rent off your neck. And I get it. The rent is hot. It's high. We'll go over that in a second. But these kids can see you. Like, again, y'all keep thinking these kids aren't watching you. My nephew the other day asked me to do a mock interview for his imaginary YouTube channel, my youngest one. And I said, "What?" But he's watching me. He's watching me consistently make content. He's watching me have a coffee shop. He's watched me have a trucking business. There's photos every business I've ever had, painting, anything. He's got a t-shirt, he's got a hard hat, he's got something from it. Kids are observing you. How you pivot, how you move, what happens if you're not happy, what happens if things don't go your way, what happens when money hits back right, what happens when you get a new contract for your company and you're educating them, "Hey, we got this new contract, this is how this works." These kids are watching you. That's why they're mad. They know you lying. T.I. and Tiny, his wife, is on this kind of let's make a very beautiful PR move for our family. But the other kids have said some of the same things. Right? When T.I. got on the news for "My daughter better be a virgin," and I go to her doctor's appointments, your 19-year-old son is a wreck. You worried about the wrong stuff. You worried about your daughter sleeping with somebody instead of your son over here who could crash out and bump heads and be murdered in the street of Atlanta, because Atlanta's not that big. Metro Atlanta's not that big. I mean, the Atlanta, I'm talking about inner Atlanta, but big Atlanta, okay, that's different. The other day, what's his name? Offset? I think it's Offset. What is his name? Offset? That's married to the fake Dominicans. What's her name? Bacardi Alakazam. Anyway, there was a black man just walking down their street, filming their house. Security out there pushing him. "Hey man, get out of here." He's like, "It's a public street." Walking up on their house. Atlanta's not that big. People can find your house. You can be living in Sandy Springs. You can live in Decatur. You can live anywhere you want to say. It ain't that big. When somebody's ruthless, it ain't that big. So he out here on the internet doing all this dust up, cutting up, getting mad because people call him ugly, all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? He don't got no purpose. He ain't got no mission. He lost and this internet stuff. And I've seen this happen to people. I watch my older brother who come from a military family, a cop family, a disciplined family, lose his way trying to prove he's black. Oh, I'm hardcore. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it cost him greatly. Greatly. And people, even the gang members he was trying to hang out with, like, man, why you over here with us? You live over there? What you doing over here? Trying to hang out in the hood. It looks ridiculous. It looks crazy. It looks crazy. So the kids are mad because they know what you've told them isn't true. They know you didn't move them here for a better life. They can look at what you do. One of my biggest pet peeves, and y'all know this if y'all call me, if y'all make a call me, and you move to a new town and you ain't did nothing. Boy, that burns my rump. Now, what I mean, you ain't did nothing. You ain't going out. You're not picking up the local free magazines telling you what's going on in the community. Every time I come home here to Fayetteville, I tell my mom, oh my God, they got the Charles Dickens downtown. Y'all want to go hold a candle, do the lights? Oh, I didn't even know that was today. Man, you live here. You live here. I don't live here. I visit here. I invest here. I drove 3 neighborhoods while I was here this time. And I immediately already wrote down 20 addresses. I'm going to reach out to the owners. My cousins were like, dang, how you do that? I said, I don't live here. I come here with open eyes. I come here when I drive by these places, and I'm looking for opportunity. I'm not looking for the excuse. Well, because we live here in Fayetteville, this why this is this way, Oh, because we live here in Robertson County, this is why everybody's poor. I'm not looking for an excuse. I'm looking for opportunity. Because you got a whole generation of older people every couple of waves, like every couple of 3 to 5 years in a military town, it's like it shakes it up because you have people moving duty stations, et cetera, right? So there's a couple restaurants I drove by and I said, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they sold those restaurants to somebody because every 3 to 5 years, the wave of soldier changes and they got to build that momentum back up. Like, hey, come check out our restaurant. Hey, come check out our club. Hey, come over here. They got to start running Facebook ads and stuff, which I've seen since I've been home. And what you got to realize is like you have to have a plan. Even these companies have a plan. So you just say you have children and you have no plans, you just want them to be happy, you just want them to lollygag through life, is irresponsible as a parent. It's irresponsible. And these kids know you don't have the answers, Sway. They know you don't got the answer. Listen, one of those something that's so not cute and I'm so bothered by is Kim Kardashian and her daughter North. She is the epitome of a troller. Like she's trolling her mom because she knows she can. Period. She's trolling her mom. She's saying stuff don't look right. That's stupid. What do you do for work? Stuff that is absolutely disrespectful and not cute. And you can see Kim every time be like, what? Like having to figure out how to talk to this child without being like, girl, you better sit your ass down. And I want you to understand because that child's read through the bullshit. Why are these cameras here? Why are all these people around being yes men? Why are people pumping you up and you ain't doing nothing? Right? Again, Khloe Kardashian is helping take care of Tristan Thompson's disabled brother. You see the kids don't come with Khloe with that mess. Because Khloe ain't playing that game. She's not playing with it. Right? And these kids can read who they can play that mess with and who they can't. They do. They watch you enough. And so you got these people who are exhausted parents and they just, oh, I'm just so tired. As long as the kids just are happy. Baby, you setting them up for failure. Roger, they're so funny. He said all them parents lie. All the parents lie. Every parent, every single parent out here, they lie. I could believe it. Everybody out here lying. Thank God my mom moved us from Brooklyn to VA. Yeah. Slower policy. So slower living. We always had these New York kids come down. It's so boring down here. It's boring. Okay, well, go ride your bicycle. Hush. Go be a kid. Go play. Why are you? Get out of here. Wait, they reach out to kids at 25. I was married by man. Listen, 20? Listen, this girl said 32 is the new grown man. He said by 32, if you talk to a man, usually okay. Now he's like, oh, okay, I gotta pay rent. I gotta pay my bills. And that sounds crazy. 32 sounds so far down the road. But you got to realize you have all these moms making excuses for why their son is not performing. You got some of these sons reconnecting with their father at 20. You got these kids spending their whole 20s talking about sports, music, and girls. And then they wake up at 30 and go, shit, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got no money. I don't have no career. I gotta do something. So that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing is uh people waking up at 32 and like, oh, I better get busy. The best way to keep a young man busy keeping sports. This is true. It's one of the ways for sure. Yeah, people be out here grinding out. Listen, I'm only doing this for this time, and when these babies come, I'm out, y'all. Like, beep, I'm gone. I'm being at my beach house. I'm gonna be back and forth with my family. Like, you only get so many years, like a good 7 years. They're even excited about Christmas. After that, it's like, where my stuff at? Ain't nobody got time for that. Back in the day, the culture kids were just supposed to do a BS because their parents. Yeah, and people don't have to do that no more. They can look at you and be like, you're not productive. And even when I brought this person up to my family, and it was a couple of different family members in the room, they're like, she's just stuck in a time warp. They had more excuses for her than Carter had little pills. I was like, y'all, this woman in her 40s, smoking weed, goofing off, and expecting her kids to leave, drive down when they work full time jobs and go to college full time to come see her sit around and do nothing. Nah, man, there's no excuses for that. Get out of here. No one helped me as a kid, so I have no desire or need to meet them now that I set up. Man, I'm telling you. But there's people, they'll show countless videos where people keep trying to go find their daddy. They go find them, they talk to him, realize, man, that man Joker ain't been doing nothing all these years. Your mama kept you from me, baby. And da 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 da. And this man done went and remarried, had a whole life. Man, I got a friend right now who's running behind their dad. And their dad basically told him, like, I got remarried. Your mom and the new wife got in a beef, and I let y'all go. I hope you can forgive me. What? What? We know a military guy down the street. He got 3 sons. Him and his wife have no children. He married her. She was a single mom with other kids. He done raised her kids. Their kids done had kids. They're married now. He's a great grandpa to them kids. He got 3 whole grown ass sons out here. They were never allowed to come to his house. They were never allowed to meet the other kids. They were never allowed to be a part of Christmas or dinners. He would have to meet them at the little it's a place over here in Fayetteville, but he'd have to meet them out in public for a few hours on the weekends. That's all he gave them. You have no children with this wife, but you have 3 sons out here in the world that look exactly like you. Wow. And so again, these kids are mad. They mad as hell because these parents have been messy and lazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't understand. It is. It's that cold, man. It's that cold out here. It's cold in North Carolina. Yeah, them parents be thinking the sassiness is cute and all that stuff. That stuff is not cute. People like, don't judge me. You can't judge me. You ain't got no kids. You can't judge me. All right, cool. Like, whatever you say, baby. Let me go on to this other one. I'm gonna look at your last couple comments, but I'm gonna go on to the 120K is the new middle class. The sense of urging in life together story lacking. Yeah. People be like, listen, I already told y'all a couple videos ago when people start saying, slow down, baby. What you in a rush for? Oh, you got life is long, relax. That means I can't help you. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how to assist you, but you should slow down because you're doing a lot. I've had so many people say, man, you're doing so much. I be like, I really ain't. I take a nap every day. I crack out and have a good time. All this stuff is on autopilot. These emails, everything's on autopilot. Only thing I'm hardcore focusing on is um some construction projects, some other stuff, and our service business we just pick up. So no, cut it out. These kids don't listen to Erica outside, have way more influence. They have to see you doing better. Even then, they're entitled. So here's the thing, too, Vanity. That's that 8 years old to 12. You got to catch them 8 years old to 12, and they got to know you care. And I've seen that with my boy cousins, and I have a niece. I have 2 nieces. And it's like, you can tell, like, if you don't catch them 8 to 12, girl or boy, woo, baby, they about to be a nasty teenager and you can't really do much. And that's why I keep trying to get y'all to understand there's an age where it's a whole book. It talks about when they're little, they idolize you. Right. Then they get to an age where they demonize you. They're mad with you. And then they get to the third stage where they humanize you. That's why you see these girls fall out with their mom when they teenagers, but then when they adults, they mom and her best friends, they shop and they ha 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 kiki and all that stuff, right? Or the son is mad with the dad as a teenager, but then they best buddies. They drinking beer together. They living their best life. There is a season where this kid does not see you anymore as the great dad, the great mom. I used to joke my mom, my mom's a war hero. They'd be like, "Girl, you think so highly of your mom?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I know what she's done, and I can see these lazy slugs moms who done nothing, and they out here like, look how great my mom is. Is she great? She ain't done much for you, boy. I tell you, if that's great, I don't know what worse is." Not Faith calling out the sister-in-law. My sister-in-law kids are horrible. No one say anything to her. Girl, you already know. But that's what I'm saying. Listen, they come down here to Fayetteville. They come down here to Parkton Home Mills. These houses were 50K. There were foreclosures in my mom neighborhood. This is where this lake is, and they were going for 60, and now they're all back up to 200,000, right? And well, actually a little bit more than 200,000, but it's just this area, right? There are homes further out near Parkton that were going for 35,000, 40,000. And you talk to these people, these weren't bad homes. They were just 1980s bricks. You might have to do the kitchen up a little bit. You might put some new appliances in it, whatever. And you would talk to people, they're like, "Oh man, I just want a nice apartment." Well, now all these houses that went up to 100K, and they're like, "That's too much money. Why are they charging so much out here?" I said, when you could have $200 mortgage, you didn't want it. When you could have $300 mortgage, you didn't want it. You weren't serious. And these are people in their 30s. This ain't people who are babies. These are people in their 30s talking about, "Oh, I don't want to buy no house here." The funny thing about Fayetteville and any military town is people always say they don't gotta be here. "I don't gotta be here. I can move. I can leave. I can go." Well, go. But see, the thing is, you don't have no skills, and you're in one of these towns, and this happens often. The military family member bought a house here. They leave. They PCS. The house rents off and on. They got a family member from up north. "Hey man, I need to move south." They move them down here in these houses. They renting from them, basically paying the mortgage, enough to pay the mortgage, and they'll be complaining the whole time. "Oh, I'm just down here at my cousin's house. I'm just down here because I'm doing this." And you're like, "Okay, when you going back?" We got neighbors in this neighborhood. We didn't even realize they were renting until they said something. "Oh, we've been renting over here for 20 years. What? The whole time my mama been owning this house, you been renting that house? Whoa, terrible. These houses were, there was a time when you could have got some of them on foreclosure, and then there was some time when they were all back up value. Like there's like one house over here, it didn't even have AC in it. And it's like 250 just because the value and how big the yard is. You're like, y'all missed out on the wave being stupid. Let me see. My grandson does my outro. I love it. It's Offset. Okay. Alakazam, Alaka Abracadabra. Y'all know her name. You know what I'm trying to say. Alaka Shaz, whatever. They live in Sandy Springs. Well, the man was in Sandy Springs. Dippity Dop Do, whatever her name is. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's a private road. Listen. Same family, same parents, different. Yeah, man, people be out here with these sob stories. Just making money don't make you a good parent. These kids are watching the immigrants come here, running things in their community while their parents complain. Listen, this is these kids, like when we go to the beach, I told y'all about my family. We dropping 20K for a week in a 25 bedroom, 25 bath house. Big old beach houses. We do it every year. We used to go 30 people deep on Carnival cruises for like 12 years. And beach houses. And so the kids, I'm telling everybody, "Hey y'all, we should just get money together, buy a beach house. We should get money together, buy a beach house." They're only half a mil. They're only 800,000. Now they're $1 to $3 million, depending on where you're at, right? And I'm like, "Y'all, we can get a beach house." Everybody's ignoring me. The young children in our family that are 15 and 13, like, "Why don't we own a beach house? Why are we paying somebody 20K?" Now all of a sudden, like, "Oh yeah, we should totally look into buying a beach house." Now, I've been saying this thing for 7 years, y'all. Nobody's listening, Erica. So I already told my cousins. I said, "Oh, I'm just gonna buy one by myself. I'm gonna buy a five bedroom, 5 bath, smaller one. I ain't fooling with y'all, cause y'all don't listen. Y'all want to play and don't listen. Don't listen. Then call me when I'm done. Come visit me at the beach, and then I'll still chip in on the one we do at somebody else's house. But come visit me at the beach, cause y'all doing silly stuff. Come on, man. Immigrant parents love to say this. We came here to give you a better life. Meanwhile, they letting getting money pass up. It's crazy. Come on, priced out, Philip. He said many black Americans don't understand they're actively being priced out of this country. No inheritance, no business structure. And now the kids can see, yeah, and the kids are angry because they know you could do better and you're not. And listen, I literally the woman I was talking about, literally, there was a house that was went to foreclosure beside the 50K house her mama bought. And they told her, "Hey man, it's like 20K, y'all want to scrape some of that money up from your father's, he had died, he left an inheritance. And they had bought the house, cash out, cash, bought new furniture and new cars, right? They're like, you can buy this house beside your house for 20K. She was like, oh, I don't want to work on it. I don't want to do the bathrooms. I don't want to like, and another black neighbor we know bought it, and now he's got multiple rentals in the neighborhood. And it was like, when the opportunity was right next door to you, you didn't even want it. These kids can see that you didn't want to do nothing but chill and smoke out here and have $500 rent. Man, local towns be jumping. Community events, all this stuff. Man, North is giving her hell every day. It's wow. They aren't. Listen, my nephew had already, my family's like, oh, make sure is he gonna go to college? Is he gonna do the army thing? Man, nah. We sat down and talked with him. He gave us step by step what he was gonna do. He got a grandpa over here trying to give him business. He got a grandpa over here trying to give him business. He got another man our family knows is like he can take over my business if he's ready. I have a friend that does asphalt and paint stripping the lines. He was like, yo, if he wants to do what I do, I'll give him some money too. I mean, I'll give him some equipment. He can just take a pickup truck, put this stuff in the trailer, and hit up companies door to door. That's how I make my money. There's a million people when they see a child is productive and thinking, they're like, hey, what he need? We've got other family members sitting here like, well, why don't y'all just give me money so I can buy land and be a real estate person like y'all? Because you don't listen. Because you don't want to follow instruction. Because you won't keep a damn job. So no, we're not gonna give you money to do real estate when we got kids in this family running $7,000 a month lawn care businesses, and you won't even go pick up a lawnmower with them for a few times. Come on, man. Yes. Come on, man. It's crazy. This is true. They really do. Listen. I ain't got the babies yet. Stop playing, man. 40-year-olds be tripping. It's crazy out here. I'm grateful my daughter observed me working in tech because she be damned if my child don't do better than me. Because there's just no. mm, there's a lot of stuff I could say. There's a lot. But this is the thing too, Brandy. Once the kids are all out the house, and the excuse for you working the crappy jobs, the excuse for you doing what you had to do, oh, I had to do what I had to do because I had y'all, and life was so hard. I had to work hard because of y'all. The kids looking at you now like, okay, well, we all gone. We all gone. We not there. It's just you and grandma. What you doing? They ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing. They see that. These kids can see that. They see it. Listen, Isaiah, you already know how people are. Come on, man. Okay, let me go on to this thing. It's 332 people here. If y'all have liked the commentary so far, just go ahead and hit the like button. Um and drop a one in the comments. That way I know you've enjoyed the commentary at least. Uh-oh, hold on, listen. Before I go to this one. Look at this. I live in Hope County. 1,500 square foot home on $650 a month. Best decision of my life. There you go. There you go. Come on. I mean, I'm telling you, I remember talking to somebody. We had went to high school together. She had 3 kids. I said, "Girl, where you live at? Where your home at?" "Oh, girl, we just renting around the corner." I said, "Renting? Your man been working at UPS since we left high school. That man ought to be rich. You renting? What? Y'all ain't bought no house. You been working all these years since we left college. You got 3 kids and y'all renting?" "Oh yeah, girl, we thought we was gonna leave Fayetteville and go to Raleigh." Girl, we in our 30s. You been here since 18. You could have had a paid off house. If you don't stop playing with me, I come home. Every time I come home, y'all, I write a list. Y'all think I'm joking. I have a list of homes where I'll drive a neighborhood and I'll just and I'll send out letters. My mom was like, "Oh, you got some letters at your post office box." I'm like, "Yeah, that's the people I wrote to see if they want to sell their house. That's all, because they sitting empty over here doing nothing with it. It's sitting empty for years. Some point they're gonna want to give it up. They ain't got no cousins coming back to Fayetteville to live. They ain't coming back. I mean, we have neighbors who have come back 10 years later. Their wife done left them. Their grandpa, they done retired. They moved right back in their house, paint it, clean it up, and sit on down. Y'all think I'm joking? These small towns, people be making money. Y'all gotta be serious about your business. Okay, let me go on to the thing. Thank you, Mimi Roberts. The camera's not acting right. Get right. Cut it out, camera. Here we go. Let me go over here. Here we go. Here it is. Hope y'all can hear it.
To afford a 375 or
Oopsie, did I push it again? Oh, there it is.
$400,000 house, which is the average home in America. Your net pay on 120 is going to put about $7,800 into your pocket. But your house payment on a house like that with these interest rates is about $3,700 out the door, $300 in utilities. You're at $4,000 just for housing. Then you got $800 for health and car insurances. You got $1,000 for groceries, $300 to put gas in the cars, $150 on cell phones. Maybe one of you have student debt for $400. Maybe one of you still have a car payment for $500, $250 in credit cards, $100 for personal care, $100 for subscriptions. And this is if you don't have kids or have pets, and you're left with about $200. But this doesn't account for, again, if you have kids, a savings account, $500 a month into a Roth IRA, or putting money towards your debt to be debt free. Or the big one is having fun, being able to go out, once a week, or buy gifts, or save up for a vacation. So this is $120,000 a year. This is wild. And just 3 years ago, you could achieve this same life for $70,000. It nearly doubled in just 3 years. And that's why we continue to talk about this, because no one's ever seen this kind of a shift this quickly. Is $100,000 the new middle class? I hate to say it, but I think it's actually 120. Hear me out on this. I think a staple of the middle class is owning a home. And in order to own a home these days, you need to make about $120,000 if you carry some debt to afford a $375,000 or $400,000 house, which is the average home in America. Your net pay on 120 is going to put about $7,800 into your pocket. But your house payment on a house like that with these interest rates is about $3,700 out the door, $300 in utilities. You're at $4,000 just for housing. Then you got $800 for health and car insurances. You got $1,000 for groceries, $300 to put gas in the cars, $150 on cell phones. Maybe one of you have student debt for $400. Maybe one of you still have a car payment for $500, $250 in credit cards, $100 for personal care, $100 for subscriptions. And this is if you don't have kids or have pets, and you're left with about $200. But this doesn't account for, again, if you have kids, a savings account, $500 a month into a Roth IRA, or putting money towards your debt to be debt free. Or the big one is having fun, being able to go out, once a week, or buy gifts, or save up for a vacation. So this is $120,000 a year. This is wild. And just 3 years ago, you could achieve this same life for $70,000. It nearly doubled in just 3 years. And that's why we continue to talk about this, because no one's ever seen.
All right. Did y'all see that enough? Did y'all see that enough? Put a one in the comments if you've seen it enough. I hope you saw it enough. I try to play it twice because I don't want somebody to be like, well, I didn't hear the first part of what he said, Erica. Can you play it back again? Because I didn't get to hear the first part. So I just wanted to go ahead and get that out so you can see it. Let's talk about it, because a lot of people say, $50K a year, you're doing good. If I'm making $70K a year, I'm doing good. Why do y'all women want people to make so much money? And again, when homes were what, 150, 200K, 250, no problem. 70K, you're balling. I have people I know from college that literally they were able to kind of be, what's the word I'm looking for? They were able to kind of play, I'm going to do a little National Guard, I'm going to do a little bit of part-time work, but they never did like full-time work because they didn't have to, because it was more than enough to cover their bills, right? So I'm going to take this off the screen. Take this off screen real quick. Let me see. Women in Linux says you need 200K. Let me see. I'm gonna scroll up. What did I miss? Let me scroll up. Did I miss anybody's? I'm sorry. Getting a house in this economy is getting rougher, and next year I don't see it getting easier. Yeah, even if they drop the interest rates because it's election year, it's gonna go crazy. It's gonna go hyperinflation level. It's gonna be stupid. Um, it's gonna be stupid. Someone said I finished college at 20, got my second degree 22, brand new home by 25. It's hard to make friends when you have ambition and don't party and drink on the weekends. Listen, I'm telling you, when I came out of college, people parents weren't giving them brand new cars. They were moving to Raleigh. I moved over to Raleigh, and they were like, "Hey, um, you can get a $55,000 brand new townhome in a place called Cary, North Carolina." Now, this city done, no one knew it was going to blow up, but it was starting. American Airlines had announced they were moving down to Raleigh, their headquarters. They were taking all these people with them. And so I was like, Cary, North Carolina, do I want to own a townhouse? I'm going to have to rent the rooms out, Mom. Well, your mortgage only going to be a little bit, baby. You can, here, I can give you the money and you can come and da 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 da, right? I was like, no, I'm just going to rent an apartment. To this day, I know girls who got married, rent them bad boys out, and their value is $450,000 to this day. To this day, $55,000 brand new in 2007. Was it 2007? 2007. And I sat there and argued with my mom about common sense, putting $3,000 down. To this day, I can kick myself because it was around the corner from my job. And I was like, no, Mom, I don't know. And to this day, I'm like, no, Erica, you could have had a house in Cary, a townhouse. Even if it was a townhouse, it didn't matter. And so what I try to get people to understand is, like, when you have parents or family that are telling you, go ahead and get where you need to go ahead and buy this, whew, you better listen. $200K bare minimum. I told my mom she can get a new job, and she said no. She said I retired, but the women at senior center are not on her level. They don't have pensions. Listen, my mom is a what we call golden parachute retiree. She retired in the military. She did excess years, 26 years. She done got disability, social security, all of it. She had 100K. And so, her friends be shopping and be like, let's go to Payless. Let's go to these little cheap places. She'd be like, let's go over here to this mall. Let's go to Nordstrom. They'd be like, oh, we can't afford that. I mean, it just is. When your parents make choices, and everybody, mom and dad didn't get to make choices, but I know some people's parents who retired from the school system. And they good. They were a bus driver and a lunch lady for 30 years, and they still got a pension. Okay, so it's not always my mom did the army and she's better than y'all. No, there's people I know who are nurses getting retirement. There are people I know who were lunch ladies for 30 years. Their husband was a janitor. They was the lunch lady / school bus driver, and they got pensions. They got a pension. Their husband got a pension, and they living well. So it's not just one or the other. I say 150, and that depends on the city and structure. 1,000 for groceries is crazy. I mean, I don't know if this man was calculating just groceries, because when I do a portion of my shopping at Whole Foods, a portion of my shopping at Sprouts, and then the rest at the farmer's market. The bill don't be little. I'm just gonna say that. And then I eat out too, so I don't know if he's combining groceries and eating out, or he's just saying groceries. You in Ohio? Listen, Ohio, you balling on 80. If it's Cali or NY, 250, and live nice and not be homeless with roommates. Here you go. Come on, man. I watch these families that won't sell houses and land sitting around fighting about who gonna pay taxes in the end, just letting it go. Listen, we have a family friend, and she didn't want to tell us, hey man, I'm having a hard time or something to that effect. And her kid let her, hey man, could y'all, maybe one of y'all could buy my mom's house. She's not coming back down there. She moved further south where her people is. And so we're like, okay, well, what she needs. She got it listed for sale for like 100 on MLS. A wholesaler came by and offered her 53, and she took it. Oh, I just need to get rid of it. I said, nah, baby, you needed money. You needed money. You just needed money. Just say you needed money. And that's something we could all understand. But letting a house go that's valued at 100 for 50, that's a money grab. So that's why when these people won't be honest with themselves, that they start selling assets they need. Yeah, that's crazy, insurance wise. That's what I mean. My cars are all paid off, so that's why when people are like, Eric, you don't understand, you got paid off cars. I'm like, I don't know what you tell me. Yes, I'm 33 years old. 2 years ago, I made 52,000. It was the most I've ever made, and I still feel like I'm broke. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, babe. It's hard. It's like you're the only one who can see doors closing on us as a people, and we don't get it together. Man, we out here with massive distraction. You got to know how you're wired, how you're built. I'm ADHD. I don't even watch TV. So, like, they put the TV on in front of me the other day, and I was like, is this what's on TV right? And they were like, you ain't seen this show. I'm like, no. You ain't seen this? I said, no. I ain't seen none of it. Is it on Instagram? Like, I felt like a weird old person. Like, I don't know what this is, baby. What is this? Show me, right? I just don't know. Because I'm focusing on a hyper year. Need 100K near Boston's crazy. Locals getting priced out. Man, I've heard stories about Boston. Cary is big money now. So you had basically they call Cary the containment area for relocated Yankees. You basically had about 100,000 New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Delaware folks basically come down and move and buy and build $1 million houses in Cary, North Carolina. It's right outside of Raleigh. It's very expensive now. Them same houses they built for 300,000 are now a million. That they built for $500,000 are now 1.7 million. Ridiculous prices. You can go look at some on your own on realtor.com and look up Cary, North Carolina. But at the time, it was 2007 when I was up in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to come to Raleigh. And it was just like, as much as you think tech is booming in Austin, it is in Raleigh. It's called the Research Triangle. You have 10 colleges in a circle, basically. Cary is exclusive now. That's why I say, like, the townhouses in that same area, if I drive back over there, they're way older now, but they're still worth 450. I saw some on realtor.com. I was like, this is insane. This is insane. I wish I would have took one of my refund checks and bought a house in Durham or Morrisville. Oh my God. Morrisville was dirt. I remember one time I was in Raleigh and around that time getting ready to go to the airport and I missed my turn. And I kept driving. It was like, welcome to Morrisville. And I was like, what is this? Ain't shit out here. Who live out here? And back then, the Indians lived out there, right? Indian with a dot, not a feather. And then also some of the Northerners that came down had built houses way out in Miller. I was like, what? Is military retirement still worth it? So there is a cutoff because there are people under the old system. A lot of y'all not under the old system. The old system is, and I want you to understand, let's do the math real quick. Let's grab out a calculator. Let's say you retire at 40. Military going to give you $2,500. And again, this is all based off pay. There's levels to this. I'm just giving y'all a number. $2,500 for the rest of your life. Let's say 2,500 times 12 is what? $30,000 for the year. And this is before disability. This is before you add everything else. This is, let's say, if you were a basic soldier, you never really got promoted, you were stuck at a rank, you had low pay. I'm giving you a low number because a lot of people get like $3,000 plus a month. But let's just keep it here. 30,000. Let's say you retired at 40 and you lived another 30 years. Okay. You lived to be 70 years old. 30,000 times 30 is what? $900,000. That you don't have to do anything else for. It just comes every month into your box, into your mailbox money. You get paid 1st and 15th, like the soldiers. Boom, 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 boom for the rest of your life. Let's say you live to be 90. That's what? 50 years. That's $1.5 million. That's why the military was like, we got to change the old system. We going to match y'all. Whatever y'all put in y'all TSP, we'll match y'all. Because all them older military folks, they were like, hey, let's give you, and this is how I'll tell you how black, I'm just going to go there. Black and Latino people did not understand math. The military was like, hey, I'm going to give you a $30,000 check and you can get out of the military and you'll never get your payments. People were taking it. Well, Erica, you don't understand the stress. People were going to Iraq. They were going to war. They had to do what's best for them. You were telling me you took $30,000, a one-time payout instead of $900,000. If you lived 30 more years after you retired at 40 years old, which is highly likely, you were basically going to get $900,000. And people took a $30,000 payout. Oh, I'm in 15 years. I'm just getting out. I'm tired of this. I'm not following these rules no more. I got to do what's best for me. And this is how we meet military people who literally about to break their back, going back in to get their last little 5 years to get, because they still entered the old system. But they changed the system about 2021. Was it 2020 or was it 2019? I have to go look it up, but they changed the system. So now it's like whatever you put in your TSP, they'll match you. And then there's like a way reduced number. But anybody who was in before 2020, baby, they like, I just got to wait my time out. So, you know what I'm saying? So different strokes for different folks. Cary is full of them. And a lot of Italians were in Cary. It was, and what y'all don't understand is back in the day, they made the Italians in Raleigh go to a separate school. Right? They had Indian school, Native American here in North Carolina, and they had a black school, and they gave them the leftover books. They gave my mom's school the leftover books. They gave the Native school the leftover books. They gave the Italians the leftover books. Well, when they started trying to merge the schools, they're like, look, Italians, y'all gonna either go over here with these Indians and black people, or you gonna let some of y'all into this white school. And the Italians in Raleigh were like, take the bird. They gave them the bird. Take the bird. Like, we'll stay at this school. Y'all done put us over here. We don't care. This is a neighborhood now. Then, North Carolina made it a neighborhood school. Oh, it's not Italian. It's just a neighborhood school. Trying to kind of whitewash that history. But my mom and like 3 other cousins were selected as black and natives to go integrate a school. And my mom was like, I was fighting every day for the first year. I was like, oh my God. She was like, these kids were crazy. We just were getting in fights all the time. And so you got to realize, like, that history ain't that long ago. Right? But yeah, Cary got some Indians there now for sure. Thank you for the $5 super chat. What websites do you use to discover bustling and coming cities? I'm looking into real estate syndication outside my state. The truth is, it's by the time you read about it, it's already there. It's already crossed the boom. So here's 2 of the best sites you'll ever use is therealdeal.com. They are like the hottest gossip mag for real estate, but they also tell you where people are moving, where companies are moving to, what they're doing, how many, permits were issued. Another thing is economic development. Like, just pick some cities you want to invest in and go on their website, city website, and go to their economic development page. And then third, go on Forbes. So I read a list off to y'all in 2016 of Forbes Boomtown list. And every single, and you go look this article up, it's still available online. Every single city they had already named on that list, including Austin, including Nashville, they had already been booming for 5, 6, 7 years. So by the time you read about up and coming cities, they already up and came. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, prime example, Austin, Texas. Samsung is pretty much said, listen, we're going to bring 10,000 Koreans from Korea. We're going to put $1 billion in this warehouse because we need 1,700 acres in Taylor, Texas. They told the town beside Taylor, Texas, because Taylor, Texas is a blimp dot. They said, Thornton, we have 10,000 Koreans coming. Y'all need to build us apartments. Thornton City Council is 5 people. They like, we don't have no money. We don't even have a stoplight. This ain't a city. We don't have the sewage or the water. Now, what you think happened basically 2 years ago when that was announced? Everybody, their mom is already buying up every piece of land they can get their hands on in that area. I literally saw an ad the other day with the Indian man who is an engineer from Dale saying, hey, join me. We're buying up land in Thornton. Join our syndication. Come on, we got to buy this land up right now. So the land grab is already there. You got Koreans coming from Carrolltown, Texas, which is in Dallas, coming down to Austin to go look out in Taylor to buy land out there because they know if they're bringing 10,000 Koreans on paper, those are the workers. That's not even their wives and kids. They haven't even done the math. This town that has a one stoplight, Thornton, has been notified. Hey, you need to figure out where we're going to put these 10,000 Koreans we're bringing. And Thornton's like, but you're building in Taylor. Yeah. And we just bought 1,700 acres in Taylor. We're not buying anymore. You need to figure out what you're going to do. Good luck. So now you go by the old Samsung building, right, on Palmer, right? And they've built out a domain. They're literally going to build out a domain across the street from the old Samsung building because guess what? Them 10,000 Koreans, they're going to have them training back and forth there. before the full big plan is built. So by the time you've read something on the news, by the time you read companies coming and bought thousands of acres, you need to get in your car tomorrow. If you read a newspaper today or online today, you need to get in your car tomorrow and drive and call all the real estate agents in that area and price what's going on. That's how fast you need to be. That's how fast. All right? If that makes sense. I hope that made sense to you. I shop Whole Foods and Publix for my husband, and I eat organic. We pay about 1,000 groceries. I'm telling people act like that is crazy. How do you hit $1,000? That's easy. Same with groceries. I go to Whole Foods, some stuff. I love HEB, but I be hitting them farmer markets. People in the comments are like, you got to have 7 children. I'm like, y'all feeding these kids processed junk. That's all that is. My aunt is selling the family house secretly. Listen, it's going to be a hot grease fight going on when your aunt sells that house. I do want to buy it for my birthday. But if I'm big pot belly pregnant, how I'm going to be driving my Porsche, y'all? That ain't going to make no sense. But I still want to buy it. It's for my birthday. It would be March. The one I want. But I'll be in there like this. I'll be in there smashed up in that thing. My wife and I are with our baby girl. We shop at BJ's. It's only $400 to $500 a month. Give it a minute. You right, Erica. People are distracted. I'm about to buy a 3-bedroom house for $70K. These 2 brothers are fighting over a rental portfolio and didn't pay the property taxes. It's sad. It's just sad. Cause we can, you know what I mean? Like, let's just disagree to disagree, but pay them taxes. Just randomly selling off assets. Like, man, we know you can't afford the upkeep on a house. Come on, man. Commercial real estate sitting nice. Yeah. That's crazy. I really don't be knowing what's going on. Homes here in Memphis have gone up between $189,000 to $269,000. Ooh, that's crazy. People wait too late to get in a real estate ladder and stay on the rental train too long, for sure. Way too late. I mean, his numbers for a $375,000, $4,000 house, I felt were a little high. I've seen some friends, their mortgages were like $3,100. One guy was $2,900. So he could be right about the $3,700 mortgage. But utilities, I mean, that's where you got to get people. Like, if you have a service business, you need to be all about. And a lot of this will be in the Middleman of Millions in January. There's some things we went to and got certified for, but it's all going to be about utilities. That's the only thing that can move. It's like, how can I make my house more heat efficient? How can I make it more AC efficient? How can I get my roof insulated more? How can I insulate my garage? Like I'm telling, when we were in the Ground Up conference in Phoenix, Arizona, we went into Ron's properties. The foam was so thick in there. It was 70 degrees with no windows and no AC on in hot ass Arizona. And people got to realize they're paying exorbitant heating bills because a lot of these builders and a lot of these people are doing cheap work, just throwing these houses together and they keeping it moving. So all they do is play bingo and are broke. I need her to move. I don't want to influenced by them ladies. Yikes. Just gambling all day, huh? Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but there's some people. Yeah. There's some people that stayed for 20 years and didn't do nothing. Active retirement above E6. Yes. Reserve as a officer number 3, officer 03, with a lot of active time. So yes, anything else? Maybe not. For sure. I mean, here's the thing. You know, everybody works the disability angle, right? As soon as they get out, my kneecaps, my eyeballs, my arms, my sockets, everything. And so I know people on disability where they're getting $3,000 a month from the government forever. So again, oh yeah, Katrina, that's how our grandpa did it. He did military, then he came out, did post office. No, he did another government job for 10 years and then he did post office. It was crazy. Dude had 3 retirements. It was crazy. Broke and dusty, man. They know you're not. See, the only way a person in military retirement is broke is if what they last year military year, they get the highest, most expensive house they can qualify for. They get that old raggedy 300 series BMW, brand new, and then they, oh, I don't have no money. You'd be like, of course, just threw it all in that house and that car. I know a lot of people took that 30K looking dumb. Listen, every day somebody tries to justify why they took $30,000. I had to get out. They were going to go to Iraq again. Dude, you're a mail clerk. You weren't in danger. Oh, I had to get out. My kids. Sir, your kids were 18 and 17. They could make it for 1 year without you. No, you don't understand. It's so stressful. I was stressed out every day of my life. Sir, if you were stressed out every day of your life and you did 16 years, you could have did another 4 more. You'd have been all right. You'd have been all right. There you go. I'm interesting. I'm enlisted right now in the new system. Sorry, man. It's called the blended retirement system. Yeah. So I mean, listen, if they not cutting fat checks forever, for me, what I'm seeing right now, all the kids coming out really doing popping YouTube channels, supplement companies, insurance companies, stuff. There's a dude with a he got a Tyler Perry Studios type thing going on. They're all military. They come out, they got discipline. Most people don't. Come on, if you from Raleigh, you know. They made the Italians go to a different school. They were like, y'all go over there. Okay, thank you so much. The BRS system, blended retirement system, is the new system. It started 2018. Instead of 50% of your base pay, because think about it, if you had retired at base pay with $5,000 coming in your pocket every month, that meant you got 2,500. No TSP anything. It's only 40% of your best pay plus TSP automatic contribution. Okay, so that's not even bad. That's not bad. So let's say you stay in so long, because every year is a 3% automatic raise, and you get your income up to what? $6,000 a month. So 6,000 times 40%. 2,400 for the rest of your life. Still not a bad deal, dude. Because most people don't even know what they want to do when you start talking to them. They do not know what they want to do. I would say Tampa, St. Petersburg, and that's only because Kathy Wood and like 15 to 20 like New Yorkers and millionaires and billionaires with investment firms are going down to St. Petersburg. That's the only reason I believe that. Huntsville's always had the engineers and the smart folks. Next Austin, maybe not, but they've been booming for 10 years. Huntsville's been booming for 10 years now. Good 15, honestly. For the stock link earlier, thanks. Listen, when these Congress people be on these commissions and committees and they buying the same stock every month, me too. I'm gonna buy it too. When you sell, I'm gonna sell too. That's why I love these political trackers. Man, I delivered to that warehouse. It's massive. Some workers say they'll be working out there for the next 5 years. I'm telling you, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Alpharetta, Macon, Georgia, Huntsville, Alabama. Thank you. How is it a secret if you know? I know everybody says that, but I love the little Porsches. I know everybody says get the Porsche SUV, but I like the little Porsches. You already know I'm a Pisces. Cut it out. Aries, ew. Make it a push gift. Hey. I'm actually not, LJ. LJ, you trying to slide? You trying to be slash? I'm actually not even there yet. If you thought that, you might need to get a timeout today. You know what? LJ's getting a timeout for 5 minutes to think about it. You tripping. You tripping hard. 1K a month groceries is a bit wild unless you spend 1K a month. Deep freezer. Yeah, pretty much buy a quarter calf early in the year. Do stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, the Middleman a Million survey. Okay, thank you. I'll send it out again. Let me see. I bought early 20s when prices were low. Yeah, man. People don't understand. Y'all, damn, y'all thought I was 40 man bump y'all. Y'all tripping. I bought I bought a new construction home early this year. Time it was cheaper to run down existing homes. Yeah. Start the disability claim. Listen, you need to start your disability claim 5 years before you get out. I know people who had their claim going for years, and they were like, "Well, I need to fix it. I need to amend it." They're like, "Well, if you amend your claim, you start all the way over back at the beginning." So if you're in the military, you need to start your disability claim 5 years before you get out, because they be playing games, but they'll give it to you in a lump sum. I told my daughter to consider going to Space Force to get that military benefits without actually fighting people. Man, he was a mail clerk. I mean, this one dude, he was like an HR. What do you call them again? Oh, he was HR. And he was like, "Well, talk smack all you want to. When y'all pay messed up, you come see me." And I'm like, "You ain't fighting nobody. Chill out." It's crazy. It's just me, so no kids. 500 enough is enough for groceries. Hey, man, if you make it enough, it is what it is. We've studied and lived this BRS version, the old way decision. We done next year. Congratulations. I have a fixer upper and I only want new builds after this. I'm telling you. But you also got to realize this, with the new build, you still got to really be on the neck of these subcontractors and have inspectors really looking out for you. Say what? They also opened up a new FBI branch in Huntsville. That's crazy. John, that's a good perspective, John. Don't worry, Nicholas. Blended retirement system will go away. They tried that shit before. They went back to the old system when people stopped staying in for the last 14 years. Yeah, right now the military let out 8,000 people because of COVID, and now they're begging to get those people back. So it's like, oh, what you gonna do, right? So again, they gotta bend and work with these people, but I really wanted y'all to see that. I'm not trying to keep y'all here all day for lunch. We do have a Tech Tuesday coming up with Mr. Chris Johnson, and we're talking about some of the new companies that are hiring and what y'all need to look out for. But I want y'all to really, look at these numbers, and these numbers are crazy. 300 for gas, right? Some of y'all driving big souped up trucks. Y'all dropping 100 a week in them trucks, right? I mean, look at these numbers. Do these sound too off? $400 for student loans. People just not gonna pay their student loans. 250 for credit cards. People are not gonna pay their credit cards. $100 for care. I get a massage a week. So go ahead and bump that up to 400. You know what I'm saying? Like the numbers are way tight, and I feel bad for these people because, good gracious. So maybe you and your spouse make 120. I don't know, but I wish y'all the best. So I thought this was helpful. Thought these numbers were good. Or carried on by my earlier rant about kids being mad, but I still mean that. So any last comments? Get on out of here. Pisces gang all day. Pisces gang all day. I'm playing. Journey Jeb, you see how they trying to play me like I don't moisturize my skin? Y'all better get out of here. Not yet. I gotta finish the tour out. Got my toenail in 2019. I know, man. They be hating. It's okay. Air Force all the way. Man, listen, when they told me I could make the cutoff for Air Force, I'm like, let's do it. Nah, but you got to realize, when I keep seeing these people YouTube channels where they're 38, 39, 37, going to run in the Air Force and Army, I'm like, you're running against people who just graduated high school. You're going to tear your whole leg out the socket trying to keep it with an 18-year-old. Come on, man. Come on, man. People be trying it. They be trying to be slick with me on the internet. I don't care. I know what people be doing. Combat Craig is a YouTube channel to learn about getting max VA benefits. Good. That's crazy. King looks like Ice-T. Tiny used to mess with IT before. I don't even want to imagine that. Marines are homeless after they leave the military. They don't have to be. There's so many programs, but 9 times out of 10, if you actually ever go work at homeless centers, they don't want to follow the rules. They don't want to piss test. They don't want to fill out paperwork. They don't want to tell you what their name is. They don't want to give you ID. It's like they want to fight, and you're like, sir, I'm not here to fight with you. We're just here to give you what you got. You know what I'm saying? I live right and eat real food, so you will have the energy to work on whatever you need to work on, even though the prices are rising. There's still abundance out there. Yeah, I'm pretty much like I'm getting a big garden, and I'm also buying like the meat straight. Like we have a YouTube family in here who what we call them YouTube family, because he's literally has a farm. And I'm like, I just want to buy meat from you. I just want to buy chicken from you. Keep it moving. Girl, you already know. These people just say anything online. If everybody doesn't look like a 15-year-old girl, they think everybody's, oh, you must be older. Nah, you just look at young people all day. You need to chill out with that. It sounds suspect. Being homeless fit is a choice. It really is. It's unfortunate. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. It really is. Ex-military ain't minding their business, and that's why they out in the cold. Damn. I'm not homeless. Hoorah. That's crazy. People don't really talk about what leads home. Yeah, and you got to be, they'll be overprescribing people medicine, and people will take it. I'm like, if they prescribe you 20 pills at the VA, don't take all 20. You need to consult with somebody else. If you weren't crazy before, you about to be crazy. You thought you was crazy before, you about to be crazy for real. So anyway, all right, you guys, this is your girl Erica Classic Line Blog. This one went super long. We have the Tech Tuesday later tonight. Chris Johnson's going to be here. I hope you guys will enjoy that commentary with him. But again, I'm probably going to split this somehow, clip it. But yeah, these kids angry with y'all because they be lying. That's all that's about. That's all that whole saga with T.I. is about. Years later, he'll be tripping. So there you go. Listen, they got options. They got options. Sorry, you guys. This is your girl Erica Williams, Classic Line Blog. Later.